People think that entrepreneurship is all about the business.
That's not true. Absolutely not true. Once you know yourself, who you are, what do you want, what you already know within yourself, you will definitely be successful. That I guarantee you.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Personal Development for Entrepreneurs. This is me, Ikram, with my mentor and good friend, Dr. Venga Kalachulu.
Hi, good evening.
Today we're going to talk about being organized to be happy. So the title is, if you are not organized, you are not going to be happy. We have something very interesting lined up. And as usual, you're the perfect person to talk about happiness and organization, Dr. Venga.
Thank you. Hopefully.
So we wanted to start with, you were telling me that happiness is relative.
Yeah, it's very true. It's relative.
Why is that? Could you?
Yeah, because each human being defines happiness in his or her own way. Mm-hmm. And you can't say that person's definition is wrong or my definition is right. It's not a cookbook, 4 teaspoons of that and 3 teaspoons. It's happiness within oneself, as an example.
Yep.
Just as an example. Do we think that the man who is collecting garbage, that he is not a happy person? And if there were no garbage person, would you survive in this universe?
No.
So
for sure, we won't survive.
And can you then define, well, he never went to school, therefore he's unhappy, or, he never had an education, that's why he has to carry garbage? So is that to say that all the people in the United States, in England, in Europe, collecting garbage are not educated, are not this? What are we? So happiness is relative. My happiness is the way I have defined happiness. And therefore, whatever happiness I get, I enjoy it. Others have defined their own, but I don't know whether people define that happiness. To me, Ikram, it's like this, okay? I define happiness like if I am not joyful inside. That means even if I've got nothing to do, am I happy inside? Am I happy with myself? Am I happy with my surrounding? Am I happy sitting down and just dazing away? Am I happy when I sit down and watch television? Am I happy when I'm reading a book? Mm-hmm. Am I happy when I'm talking to my wife, my children? Today is my, am I happy or not? And so we create environment and all that for our own happiness. And this is a definition that I have made. So that everybody must sit down and define what they mean by happiness. One thing is you must be joyful.
Yeah.
If you're angry, you're not happy. If you're angry over something, you're not happy with it, and therefore you're not happy.
You're angry. Yeah.
So, but if you take it as, well, that's what it is, no? I can't change it. Can you change something to make you happy? Yes, you can. Yeah. That means you're not changing the thing, but you're changing the way you view the thing. Mm-hmm. Like, as an example, again, we hear so much on negative news on television, on radio, on social media, all that, okay? Mm-hmm. Are they to be blamed? Are the people to be blamed? No. It's just that you are not happy with the way they say things to you. Yep. Okay? Yep. And then you got to ask yourself, well, they are doing it because they want to promote their company, their brand or product or social media, and they are expressing an opinion. Mm-hmm. If that makes you unhappy, something wrong with you. Yeah. Because they are just expressing an opinion. So that's why definition of happiness is something that we all must sit down and define it. And
it's something that so many people don't do, especially in the age of social media. We look at photos of pictures of friends going on vacations and holidays. We look at people with their in relationships, anniversary photos. All this then starts to define what should be happiness for us. But what you're saying is no. What the happiness for them is for them. Yeah. You have to sit down and define your own happiness.
See, Ikram, a simple thing. just because my neighbor drives a Ferrari, I should be angry.
No. No.
That means I am not even human, I'm not a human being, I am like a plant who does not have the ability to know whether it's right or wrong. A plant doesn't know that.
Yeah.
An animal doesn't know that. Human being, or my neurocortex is highly developed. So if I cannot accept that the fact that my neighbor is better off than me, I should be happy for myself. In the sense that I don't know what all he does to get there. I am quite happy where I am. So it's a perception, If other people are happy, I must be angry. How can life be like that one? If I am happy, the whole world will not be happy. Correct or not?
Correct.
If somebody said, hey, what can I do for you? Correct. So that's why definition of happiness must be defined by all individuals. That's why in the planner, I've got a section called personal. Into that personal section, you need to write down all the things. Okay? And capturing the things that hurt you. Why? Asking questions. But you can define. Unless you start to define happiness, even if you have the happiness, you wouldn't know how to enjoy it.
Correct.
That's why we go shopping.
Binge shopping now. They call it binge shopping. Shopping to satisfy a depression.
Yeah, exactly. We shop to make that happiness. Cannot lah. Sorry lah, no, cannot.
And Dr. Venga, you were telling me that happiness has two aspects.
Yes, that's correct.
Would you care to explain those two aspects?
Because, see, the one aspect is that part which is to happiness, which we defined just now. The second part of it is to organize. Okay? One part of it is what is happiness? Define that. The second part of it is, hey, why is it that you have to be organized? And how do you do that? Now, that is a whole range of things. It's not as simple as, okay, like, take one simple thing. Okay? If you want to be happy, you define what is happiness. Then you sit down and look at organizing. Organizing got two parts. That two part is physical and mental. The physical part of it is easy. Like you're sitting in a place which is conducive, meaning that you want to do some work, your table is organized, the material that you need is organized, you have to look at whether or not the air conditioning is too cold or too warm, or the environment, are these too noisy, are people talking, does they distract you, is car moving? So those part is easy to organize, which is that part, physical
aspect.
Physical aspect, okay? The other part, which is the mental part, is a huge thing that human has a problem. Because of our ability to think and do, our thought process is so huge. What we don't understand, as a human, we don't seem to understand, that the day we are born, okay, the day we are born, there are 5 senses that is activated, okay, within a short period of time. Number one, first thing is ear. Ear. Second thing is eye. Okay, eye. Okay, ear. Okay. Third thing is smell, nose. Okay. The fourth thing is mouth, taste. And then the final thing is touch. The 5 senses. 5 senses. So that's your ear, eyes, nose, mouth, and touch. 5 senses. Through these 5 senses, we gather information. And when we gather this information, we don't gather it as it is. We interpret it. If we have no memory, it'll be purely entering it. But the second day you look at it, you already got a memory to compare with what you see, what's your memory. We collected it. From the day we were born until today, I'm 82 years old, I am constantly gathering. We must be very, very careful of this. This is the second part, which is the mental part. So these memories are huge. And we think that these memories is our intelligence. So sorry, it's not. It's just your perception of what you saw and your interpretation of what you saw. It is not the truth. It is not what it is.
Yep.
Okay? This is something that you understand. Within that memory that we have one more problem, which is our imagination. Our imaginations are when we see a movie, we see somebody else doing something else, or we read a book, we see violent things, so many things we see. You can see how movies have more or less dictated how violence should be. And it's already happening.
Yeah.
So this imagination that we have is another huge thing. It's bigger than our memory. Can you imagine that our memory and our imagination are put together and then it interprets that? We allow this to be interpreted, to be used as we like it. This is human. Okay.
I just to let you know, and this is an interesting observation. I see this a lot these days when WhatsApping, because when you WhatsApp, the message that comes, right, is always like mixed together with my own imagination.
Yes.
So what you say, you may say, Ikram, not today, right? And because I don't see you in person, I can't make out your physical expressions and all. I can take it as, is Venga upset with me?
Very good.
And imagination comes in, and
Very
so
good.
much of
Yeah.
miscommunication takes place on WhatsApp because of this. Because you can't see the person, right? So I see imagination getting mixed up a lot with
Exactly.
conversations in this.
And Ikram, we have this incredible ability to imagine that which is not.
Yep.
That which is nothing, we can imagine and form conclusions and all that. So you have that memory and this imagination. And constantly, it is mixing it up and coming to you.
Yep.
And we call that thoughts. Some so-called intelligent people will say, no, they are not thoughts. They are my intellectual thinking. my blessing. Okay. It's not. We cannot differentiate between intellect and intelligence. Intelligence is very silent. Intellect is a very sharp knife. It's cutting and looking and turning it around and then going backward. This is what it was 10 years ago. This is what's going to be 10 years from now. And between that and this is the Western way of what we have been taught and learned and all that. That's why, my dear friend, you got to separate your own memory. If you can't separate it, and your own imagination, if you can't separate the two, okay, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's why it is difficult to define. No? For instance, we see something, we form conclusion very quickly, but this is out of your memory and your own imagination. We got to realize this. Now, unless we realize it and say, hey, look, this is the past. This is my imagination. Then you have a chance for intelligence to come up and help you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're caught in this trap. This is the key to life. That's why, like you said just now, no? You receive a message. Is Venga angry with me? Is Ikram angry with me? Why he reply like that? All these are your imagination, not truth.
Correct.
Because you're not meeting him personally and talking. And this world, as it under the pandemic, this is one of the major problems of people learning to manage themselves. They have difficulty managing it. So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so first define, okay, what is happiness, and then to get yourself organized, you need to first the physical aspect of it, which is quite easy and can be managed very well. And the other part is a mental part, which takes into account all this that you have accumulated over the period of time. And you must realize it, they are not the truth. They are what you have perceived and made some conclusion, and added to that is also your own personal experience.
Yep.
Correct or not?
Correct.
Which is also in your memory. So you got memory, experience, and your imagination. Are you with me, Ikram?
Yes.
Can you
Pretty
imagine
potent.
what influences your thoughts?
Yeah.
And so in this, you want to be happy. You got to define all that correctly. Correct or not?
Yes.
That's why when somebody talks to you, you think he's telling you in an angry tone. It's your perception, not real.
In fact, yeah.
Or when somebody raises a voice and talk to you, you see, hey, what have I done wrong? Imagination. So this has to be totally done. Now, the problem is we have been successful up to now. We have been. Certain things we have done, we have been successful. Certain things we have done, not so successful. But in this mind of ours, it's a mixture of both. Success, failure, lessons we have learned. But we don't know how to put them aside. Now, the first thing to do, understand this, okay? Your intelligence, you call it, does not even interrupt you when you are doing things wrong. Intelligence is pure. It has no memory.
Yep.
If you are drowning yourself, an intelligent human being, okay, will let go and relax now. Once you relax, the body will float. What? You throw a baby, you throw a baby into water, what does the baby do?
It will relax.
It will do nothing. Well, in 2004, we found a baby after I think 4 or 5 days floating in the sea after the tsunami.
Wow.
Yeah, it is a true. I'm not telling you stories, the fact. Go check it out. It is
Floating on
floating.
water.
They were floating. A baby, just floating like that. This is not my story. This is a fact. When you jump out of a boat, if you relax, you will float. Animals, for instance, any animal, from a bloody elephant to a horse or to a dog, you throw the fellow into the see what happens. He'll just float. Why? Relax. But ask yourself, hey, but human is for intelligent. No? Because we are intelligent, what do?
We panic.
Which means we have no intelligence. Intelligence is there. It will only obtrude or come out, okay, when you yourself have requested and asked for the intelligence, then only intelligence come. Otherwise, intellect will work. Intellect is your past memory, correct? Imagination, and whatever you've done, experience.
Yep.
But intelligence is quiet. Because intelligence knows this. Hey, you just stop, close your ass, close your mouth, you'll float. What?
It's funny, Dr. Venga, how our greatest gift, which is the intellect, you were just telling me one of the reasons why we're not happy is because of our very advanced frontal cortex,
Yes.
which allows us to think and dissect and evaluate, and therefore we are unhappy, unlike animals in the animal kingdom. So it's very funny that the greatest gift we have, which is the intelligence and the brain, is also the cause for our sorrows.
Yes, correct. Because we don't know how to use them. Okay? Now, this is the best part of it. You see, that's why yoga has become so famous in the world. Because yoga is supposed to teach you to separate all this I'm talking about. To actually let your intelligence obtrude. But yogis, now we speak about yogis, they are looking for the ultimate of themselves. And they are willing to sacrifice everything that is earthly to be on their own, to discover themselves. That's a different set of yogi. Okay?
Yeah.
Then we have started on this big journey called the spiritual journey, where religion plays a very important role and kill one another. Okay? But actually our own intelligence, okay, if you don't make use of it, it won't help you.
Yep.
You got to request for it. I give you one example. Ikram. All of you, ladies and gentlemen, you've gone for exam. You went to school exam, final exam and all that. You sit in the examination hall, you sit down and you write and you put whatever, computer, whatever you do, and then you strain yourself. You work very hard to answer the questions and all that. You read it 10 times, you review it 10 times, and then the bell ring, beep, and then you put on the paper, and they tell you to, all students, get up. I hope that's what they do.
That's what they do.
And then,
well, at least in my time.
Okay, then on your turn, go to your right side and march out. Okay? The moment you stand up and as you're marching out, you are relaxed. And suddenly, all that you were asking for in your intelligence, in your memory, it comes out.
Yes.
But it didn't come out when you were writing.
No. I can relate to that so much.
Okay. What does that mean? It means that when we demand for what we know, intelligence just, what do you call that?
It
Like
closes.
Closes.
Yeah.
But when you are relaxed, intelligence comes out. So, what does that mean? That means we are not practicing the gift of intelligence is without memory. Because it is no memory, you have to seek for it. That's why they say, ask and it shall be given to you, seek and you will find, and knock, it shall be opened. In all the religion of the world, the 3 words. Ask, A-S-K. Ask, it shall be given, seek and you will find, and knock, it shall be opened. That is what your intelligence is. But you got to ask, you got to seek, you got to knock. Instead of which, we are rushing into this intellect, what we have done, what was the past result, what did the other company do, what the other people do. All that is rubbish. It's their experience.
Yep.
So this is the problem. So therefore, Ikram, what do we do going forward?
Yes.
We talked about define.
Define happiness.
We did that. And in terms of organizing yourself, 2 aspects. One is the physical aspect and the mental aspect. I've explained the mental aspect. Now the question is how?
Yep. How
Okay.
do you get organized and be happy?
Exactly. The first thing is, as I said to you, as a human being, we are the most highly developed being. We are the highest developed being in this universe speaking today.
Yeah.
No animal is equal to us. Because it is so well developed, we don't know how to manage we don't know the difference between thoughts, we don't know the difference between imagination, and we don't even know the thought of experience. We don't know all of this. Now, got to separate them. How do you separate them? I give you one. First, I'll tell you a story. As a little person, when you was growing up, have you ever blown soap bubble?
I have.
I'm sure all of we have all of
Yes.
Now, the bubble, some people can blow big bubble, some people can blow small bubble,
Yep.
and another person can blow bigger one, right?
Yep.
After a few seconds, you say, hey, that's my bubble. Oh, that's your bubble. Oh, this is mine. And after a few minutes, boop, no more already. Do you say, oh, that's my air? This is my... Do you say that?
No.
It's air, right? That's what happens to all of us. Because why? We are so... But we don't know. Nobody has taught us. Nobody has taught us. No school teaches you. So I'm saying that like the bubble that comes out, the blowing out, you got to capture your thoughts. Okay? How do you capture what you're thinking? by simply doing one little exercise. Write.
Right.
When you write, whatever your thoughts are, you will begin to define. Hey, why am I thinking like that? Is it my experience? Is it my memory? What I've seen before? Or is it something I'm imagining? You'll be able to define. You see how? So when you write, automatically you can separate them. This is the way I have. I've always tried to capture my thought, write it down, and look through it. Is it what I'm thinking? Is it my own imagination? Or is it my experience? Or is it just I picked up as a memory? Which one is it? Then when I put that all down, and then I start to work on it, then suddenly, so I'm relaxed, say, okay, what should I do and all that? Intelligence slowly
Comes up.
Emerges.
What do you write when you're writing?
Whatever my thoughts, I try to form a picture of what I'm thinking. Not words alone, the whole, because we do not think in words, we think in pictures.
Yep.
Okay, as an example, right now as I'm speaking to you, if you ask me, what are you thinking? I'm thinking about this particular session. So in this session, pop, a whole lot of picture comes out. Several pictures, like a slide program that's going on, or like a movie, it's going. So all that I will capture. I'll capture the thoughts, my thoughts. Why? See, Ikram said this to me, and he said that. What does he mean? Why did he text me like this? Is he like this? All the questions I try to clarify. I give you another example. Okay, Ikram, answer me this now. Is the world round or flat?
Round.
You know it to be round, or you think it is round?
I've not seen it physically, but I know the laws that say it is round.
Okay. Also, you have seen a movie, lah. We went to the moon, lah. No? Somebody went to the moon. Actually, it is round. The people went on to the moon.
Yep.
And those who go to space don't see the moon, That is still around. But when they went to the moon, they were able to take a picture. Always they show you, actually the moon is round. Now we all know the moon is round, right? Yes or not? So what happened? How come? The further the distance, the clearer you see. Is that right or not? Correct or not?
Yeah.
If you're close, you can't see it. Because when I walk on this floor, okay, can you imagine somebody who's not steady? Even at my age, I'm okay, lah, no? But some people who has got other problems, right? They can't walk properly.
Yeah.
They fall down. Right?
Yeah.
How difficult it is.
It's very difficult.
Very difficult. But that intellectual exercise, walking, do you think your intelligence is helping you to walk properly or not?
Yes.
Of course.
Yep.
But you learned it.
Yes.
And you converted that into memory. And then you instructed the intelligence. When I put my feet like that, do like this. Correct. You have given a lot of instruction yourself.
Yep.
You build up a database.
Yes.
And that database is used by your intelligence to work on it. When you're falling down, they help you. All right, okay? You understand? So this build up of this database is like this, okay? Now, the further you are from something, you can see better.
Yep.
When you get involved in it, you cannot see it. Correct or not?
Yep.
Same like manner. The more you think and the more thought go into it, you cannot see 1 and 2. You cannot see anything because you are caught into it already.
Yep. You're inside it.
Inside it. But when you let it go and sit afar and look at it, then you can see clearly. That clarity can come only if you sit down and analyze your thought process, why you are thinking like that. How is it different from this situation? How is that different from another situation? Or this is what people have done. Is this something I should apply? Should I be a copycat or I should be able to change it? You see, a good lesson for us is in the last 30, 40 years. Look at China. It is its own innovation, improving things that has already been done. in the West, improving it, okay?
Yep.
They have come to this level, which now the West is afraid of. They are trying. And you saw the little fan I told you. Okay? You see how? Good, isn't it? Oh, gee.
360-degree oscillation.
Yes, exactly. So what does it mean? It means that you take what is around and improve it, make it better. That's called innovation. Small little innovation. Okay? That's why the Japanese beat the Americans in car manufacturing and producing better car. This I know for a fact. I was involved in it. I know it. That Toyota is the one that made it happen. So much so, the Americans were so scared, they have to put in, I think, some 98 or 97, they put in some other clause and literally killed Japan from progressing because they've innovated it. How did they do it? There's a book on it, Toyota. They actually send people to do what are people's behavior. They have just to give you one simple example, okay? A cheeseburger, a burger, a drink, coffee, and water. You know, cars did not come with put the burger here, put the coffee here, put the what. They didn't have that. The Americans' car don't have it. It's a Japanese who did it because they went and found out the behavior of Americans and provided them exactly what they wanted. So everybody bought, hey, damn good. Then they also did for the back seat. Innovation word. The Americans don't like it. Why? How can you be better than me? Only I can think. Whatever they have thought is no. I'm not being political or racist in this case. I'm just saying to you, innovation. So whatever thought you have is your past, your memory. That's number one. Number two, your experience. Number three is your imagination. If you write that down and then analyze it, you will always know that your intelligence will disagree with you or give you a new input. That intelligence is not to come out. It's not going to, like, where's the button I press it? It's like this, my friend. You see, artificial intelligence is processing of data. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
That's what it can do. But can artificial intelligence think by itself?
No.
We don't know, Ikram. From what we know, the thinking part of it, the intelligent part of it is a human. It has developed this cortex, frontal cortex. It has developed it. Can artificial intelligence do? I don't know. I don't know. But be it as it may, for the moment, artificial intelligence cannot create itself. But it can process data faster than human.
Yep.
Yes or no?
Absolutely.
If I want to be a creator, I got to clear my mind. I got to take all this out and start to let my intelligence come up. Because my intelligence knows exactly what I can eat. If I eat the wrong food, it makes me vomit, So there's another intelligence in my stomach. If wrong, as I put into my mouth, my tongue don't know the difference between right and wrong, or good food or bad food, or this is bad food. Yes, it just eats.
Yeah.
But the moment the stomach goes inside, it vomits out. Correct or not?
Yeah.
So there must be another intelligence here, right?
Correct.
Further down, if it disturbs the equilibrium of the intestine, it'll give you diarrhea. It comes out the other side, right?
Yep.
Is it not intelligent?
It is.
Do you instruct, I've eaten the wrong food, come out? No. You don't, isn't it? So, you see, we have the intelligence, we don't know how to use it.
Absolutely, yes. You're right.
We don't spend even 1 second thinking about our stomach, our duodenum, our intestines, our colon, even our rectum. We never spend 2 minutes thinking about it. It is doing work intelligently on its own. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what am I saying? I'm saying that we have so much of intelligence in us, we don't know how to utilize them. You're right. Our own intelligence is killing us because we don't know how to use them. It's like this, Ikram. You own a Ferrari car, okay? And you want to put a Morris Minor tire into the Ferrari car and drive the car. Can I?
No.
Or you have this Ferrari car, you want to take it to a mining road and drive the car? Can I?
No.
Well, with our intelligence, we are doing both of this. We are putting a Morris Minor tire into a Ferrari car and taking a Ferrari car and driving it in a mining road. No? This is our fault. No?
Yep.
We have this intelligence. We don't know how to use them. And therefore, we rely on our memory, our imagination, okay? And worst of all, our own experience. Our experience is what we did. But whatever we did yesterday, we do tomorrow, the same way, we're not improving.
That is, someone said the insanity of definition.
Yes.
Doing the same thing and expecting different results.
My view is very simple, and that is that by just sitting down and writing all those down into a system like this, you can recognize that you are thinking the same way as you did before. And you can change that. To me, this is something that you should do, Lana. And what you're trying to manage your own self, Lana. That is, I want to be happy. Very good. How? I got to get organized. In how to get organized? First thing is, I must understand physically I have to organize that, which I explained to you. Table, chair, whatever I need to. I don't have this file. No? I run and look for, cannot. All that organized.
Must be really
Then
organized.
the biggest part of it is our mental mind. How do we organize that mind of ours? How do we know the difference between memory, between imagination, and between experience? Because whatever you did, as you did before, you remain the same. That's the problem with this world today, my friend. I tell you, survival is the mother of invention. This is a fact. When it comes to survival, you will know how to survive. Is that
Absolutely.
intelligence or experience?
Intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. So it's with you.
Yeah.
But we are not making full use of it.
So when we talk about how to be organized and happy, you're saying that first define happiness,
Yes.
then capture your thoughts.
Yes.
And there's one more aspect you were telling me about, which is to know why.
Okay. The reason is intelligence is such that unless you activate and understand the reason behind what you are doing, intelligence is not going to come out of it. Why gives you the clarity? Hey, why am I thinking? I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say I receive a text from you, and I say, "Hey, is Ikram angry with me?" I am forming that conclusion, right?
Yeah.
Using my imagination. So if I sit down, hey, why? I ask them, tell why. See, this is how even Toyota built itself, which is they have to ask like this 5 times why. Can I change this? Why? What's the benefit we get of it? And why? You ask, the more you ask why, the more you will try to explore yourself. Even if you don't have it, your, what they call memories that came with you, memories that were transferred from your parents to you, all that memory that you have will also come on. They call it karmic memory. Okay? It's inside you. So
Okay.
the why is to activate, to think a little better.
Sure. Dr. Venga, we have 2 more minutes actually.
Okay, sorry.
It's been really interesting. So we've covered, defining happiness. Happiness is relative. It's not the same for everybody. So it's really important. Each individual defines what's his happiness. Then we've discussed that there's a physical and mental aspect to happiness, to being organized. The physical aspect is easy. You just do, you can sit in a comfortable chair, declutter your table, and so forth. The biggest challenge is the mental aspect. But then the way to handle this, the way to actually become organized and happy is threefold. First is to define your happiness.
Yes.
The second is to capture your thoughts, and the only way you're going to capture your thoughts is by writing.
Yes.
You gain clarity. And the third way is to know why. Why are these thoughts happening?
Yes.
To ask
Yes.
why.
Yes.
As you said, the Toyota way, ask
Yeah.
why 5 times
Okay.
until you come deep.
That's right. What you were trying to do is to manage our entire thinking process.
Okay.
Manage
so
it.
when in this topic, when we say if you're not organized, you're not going to be happy, I think for the audience to know, it's not just organizing your external part. What we are actually talking about is organizing your mind,
Yes.
your mental state,
Yes,
right?
correct. Absolutely. There are many other things you can talk about, but as this. But maybe later on we'll come back and talk about other things or other aspect to this. How can you become come back? But for the moment, these are simple things, simple thing that one has to do, and it's not so difficult,
It is not.
It's not.
3 things. I mean, if you can't do these 3 things, then you're not serious about your happiness.
Exactly. So, hey, Sarah, whatever will be shall be,
Shall be. Yep.
Yeah. But if you really want to improve yourself, this is to do it. Okay. If you don't do it, if you don't define what makes you happy, then you've got a serious problem. Okay. I'm telling you this, okay, because I also have grandchildren, and I can see that they are running around trying to do whatever they want to do. I always tell them, whatever you do, you must get the 100% happiness.
Yep.
You see a little kid, Ikram, you have your own daughter.
Yep.
She's all joyful and happy in there. Huh?
She is.
Correct or not? Yes or not? Shouldn't she be your consultant?
Yes.
Isn't it?
Yep.
But we are so grumpy, or you are so many things right, wrong. Ayo, that is right, wrong. Something is wrong with us, right?
Yep.
When you are so joyful when you are young, as a child, when you're older, you must be
Happier.
happy,
Yes.
right? But no,
No. Because thoughts are not organized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No school, problem. Put people to school,
Problem also.
okay?
Yes.
Never get married, problem. Get them married,
Problem.
what's that?
No money also
Problem. Give
Got
you money?
also problem.
Income tax. So you see what I mean?
Yes.
We create our own problem.
Yep.
So you got to declassify this, sit down and simple thing like get yourself, do simple thing, capture this, whatever you have in your mind, capture it like the balloon, capture it,
And write it down.
and then try to understand why you are thinking like that. Why are you thinking? What's your thought process like that? Then you can see, hey, no this happened to me 10 years ago So why is that bothering you now? This one, I only imagine can happen. Are you sure or not? Don't know, isn't it? Have you tried it? No. Then how? Why? See? So this kind of simple thing that you ask myself is what makes us better. I'm 82 years old. So why not? Why not you also try that?
Absolutely.
Huh? Hey, reach us. Write to us. Huh?
Yes. Please drop comments if you have any questions or you want to follow up on what we've just spoken about today. Drop comments below. We'll answer them as fast as possible. We have to end the show now. Thank you very much for joining us this week. Our next personal development for entrepreneurs is happening on May 5th. It's the first Wednesday of the month as usual, and it'll be happening at 8 p.m. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Good night. Thank you for listening.